Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of the At Show. Today we're looking at the use of switches. What are switches? Switches are similar to what you have on your light system, and you just press it down to switch it on and press it up to switch it off. And it works the same way with switches, except inside there is a micro switch. So let me show you a switch that we have here. This is the smoothie that exists, and the smoothie is smooth because literally there are no sharp edges, and somebody with poor muscle control can slide their hand across the switch as I am actually looking at it now. So the smoothie can be different sizes, and underneath it is a micro switch, and that's what makes the connection, and literally it sends an on signal or reverse to that, and an off signal, but for our purposes it's on all the time. So I'm going to be using two switches today, and I'm going to connect it to some software that we use in education called Clicker. So I'm going to switch across now to my screen, and or rather I switch cameras, and then you can see exactly what I'm talking. So here is my system, and down here are the switches that I'm going to use. As you can see, it's on a board. The board is Velcro felt, or rather it's felt that allows Velcro to attach to it, so the switch itself can remain stable on there. If that's not possible, then this material, which you can buy from any hardware store, provides another resistant surface on which to put the switch. So what does the switch do? Well, if I was to shine on here and just explain this, the switch itself will allow you to actually move along across what's called a grid. And the grid, I'll just move that up a little bit, and the grid will enable the information to travel up to the top screen. So I'm just going to move along, and as you can see, as I'm pressing the switch, I'll just move it in a little bit closer so you can see that. As I press the switch, it moves along, and you can see that it's actually moving along to areas of the screen that I want to use. So I'm going to now press the other switch. Now this method is called scan and select. This switch is scanning like that, and this switch is the select, and when it's pressed it writes to the top of the screen. Now, for children who have physical disabilities or adults with physical disabilities, the use of your hands is severely restricted because you don't have finger control or finger dexterity, and we call it fine motor skills, and therefore the switch is a viable means, if not a bit slow, in order to do your writing. So if I wanted to write, I can't use traditional methods of a pen and paper. So I have to resort to this method, which is simple scanning and selecting. So I'm now going to choose this word because this is what I want to write. And then I need to move along to choose my next word. And you can see it's not in the same order as it would be if I was writing a sentence in line. So I'm moving through the whole of the system, and we teach children how to use full stops, and that's why that's there. So I'm just now pressing the end key, and you should hear something. This is a cat. That's right. You hear the next bit of the word. Now, in order to move on, I need to scan and select the next grid, because I don't just need to write one sentence, I need to write another one. So as soon as I press the forward arrow, I'm back into actually moving around the screen again, And now I've got another picture that I can select, press that, and then I have a more complicated sentence to scan. So I think because that's got a capital letter, that's the word I'm going to use. And then I could say lives, and then I'm moving along inside and outside. And then I need to end the sentence with a full stop.
It lives inside and outside.
And that, in effect, is a switch system with scanning and selecting. You can just have one switch working, and that's called an automatic scan. But for this, that involves timing, and timing can be difficult for children and adults to hit that switch at the right time. So we tend to favor the two switches. One thing I should have mentioned is this here. This is the control box. You can't just plug the switches into what is a microphone socket. You can't do that. So what you need is a box, a control box, of which this is one from Crick Software. And it's a USB connector, so it fits onto the computer. And certainly that's how I managed to create my switch system. Bringing the camera back to me now. So what I've demonstrated is a switch use, albeit for children, but the same applies. And using Narrator, you could operate around the screen using a combination of tab. I should have mentioned the switch box is an emulator. That means that it emulates the keys of the keyboard. So I have it set for space and enter keys. Every time the switch is pressed, it says, that's either going to be a space key for one switch and an enter key for the other. So that creates an emulation system. So if I was using it in terms of a computer system to navigate around the screen, I might want to use it with tab and enter. So that would enable me to traverse across the screen. And so you have a system that is comprehensive and reliable and enables a user who has got physical disabilities to access a computer, which is the point of it all. So thank you for watching this short show, and this will now be posted on my website, aas123.com. Just put that up there. That's my website, where you'll find under media the 3 programs that we do, in which the show is one of them. Every Thursday we do a podcast about a piece of technology, and every Friday we do a beginner's tech savvy session too. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. Do look us up on YouTube channel, and see you again. Bye.